what up, man? I'll go ahead and get in here. I'll go ahead and get here so we can talk about Tampon Timmy's announcement. KC, what up? Kwame Kaji, what up? Revelator, what up, man? Tampon Timmy. Science guy, what up? I ain't gonna lie, man. Tampon Timmy, when it comes to the media shit, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Straight up. He is. He's the gift that keeps on giving. He is. Since I don't know what's wrong with the internet these days, where I gotta share this shit with myself all these damn times. It's ridiculous. I shared this with myself more than an hour ago. Chill, what up, man? KC, what up? No, I didn't open it up yet. You said, have I seen the video? Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, yeah. Wait, in a cage match? I know. Oh, I thought you were talking about that video on Twitter at first that's going around where it's two black girls fighting two white girls in Walmart, and it looked like some WrestleMania shit because they all big. I thought you were talking about that video. No, I haven't opened that up yet. The Revelator writes, there's no way he deserves a re-election with that Somali scandal going on under his watch. Yeah, you're right about that. That don't mean that he wasn't gonna run anyway. Stephen, what up, man? Cam, what up? Yeah, they got to do something about that defense. Looking real vulnerable up the middle. Yeah, the Bears defense looks very, very vulnerable up the middle, unfortunately. Carrington Morris, what up, man? Jeez. That's, you know what? KC writes, quick question. So do we own Venezuela now? I don't know. I don't know if Trump is going to appoint a military governor, on some old school shit. That's probably the most logical step is to appoint a military governor. That doesn't mean that Venezuela is going to become a part of the United States and no shit like that. It just means that it's currently under the administration of the United States. That's all that means. That's all it means. I'm surprised nobody has raised any, well, nobody relevant anyway has raised any questions about international law or did we conquer them and all of that shit. I'm surprised that nobody went there. You know, I gotta have two of them. Shh. I gotta have two of them, Rodimus. Yeah, I gotta have two of them, man. But I mean, they gonna unsubscribe you anyway. They gonna unsubscribe you anyway. You know how that shit goes. Assassin's Creed says smart move by Trump. Yeah. What? Wait a minute. Rodimus writes, also one of the weirdest takes I heard is Maduro got ousted because he didn't support the black community. You know, I hate when people say navel gaze and shit like that. You know, that he doesn't have anything to do with black people. KC writes, I've been seeing him online saying Trump did just what he asked Russia not to do. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. It's a totally different situation. It's a totally different situation, and I hate when people like overly simplify stuff like that. To bifurcate these two situations, the Ukraine and Venezuela. The problem with Venezuela is that they are a net exporter of money. I'm sorry, a net exporter of oil to China, right? That's one part of it. The other part of it is since the sanctions have hit Venezuela kind of hard, and the and not only that, the administrative bloat that tend to happen with communist governments and the wasting of money because of shit like that, Maduro resorted to being the host nation for a lot of cartels, right? And they were in a situation where they were being bankrolled by cartels. They were hosting the armies and navies of countries that are hostile to us. Excuse me. That's one problem. And so, you know what? I'll do a live about this tomorrow. I just call it Monroe Doctrine 2.0, but it's not as simplistic as a lot of people trying to make it. But the thing with Russia and the Ukraine is that the Democrats have broken the promise of not one more inch eastward as far as NATO. They've broken their promise ever since the 90s, and it culminates in the Ukraine war. It does. Chill writes, I've seen videos of blacks caping for Maduro. I was stunned. These same folks can't point out Venezuela on the map. Yeah, that's like, what the fuck? What the fuck does Maduro like what? Remember, when you're talking about the internet right now, especially when you're talking about TikTok, it's a whole bunch of paid stooges, Democratic stooges on TikTok. Because one common narrative on TikTok is, oh, Maduro was kidnapped. Well, if Maduro was kidnapped, and I'm not gonna use a Nazi comparison. If Maduro was kidnapped when they went and captured all of those Japanese generals and all of those people that was on Project 126 and all of that, and tried them, were they kidnapped? Were they kidnapped? Dumb as fuck. Science got rights. I don't know why black people jump out to defend people that by and large don't like them. Dumb as fuck. Easily manipulated. Remember, when you talking about black people, you talking about the same dumb motherfuckers that's been voting for a party that haven't delivered them anything tangible for 70 years. Think about it. Jamal White, what up? Lion, what up? Top Dollar, what up, man? Yeah, it was an inside job. Somebody close to Maduro told where the fuck he was. Probably one of his generals. I bet you when Maduro was on the podium talking all that shit, I bet you that some of his top generals like, man, I know damn well this nigga don't think that that me and my men about to get turned into hamburger meat by 18 rounds. He got me fucked up. I know that's not what he think. Yeah, his top general's probably like, nigga, no. No. Nope. These people, them people been patient with you for a decade. You can do all your saber rattling and shit, but man, bruh, because you might have some military men, that's like cronies or loyalists to him. But I would imagine, since most military men think the same, which is with a lot of logic and with tactics and shit, they probably thought it was crazy once he started letting Russian and Chinese ships come there. They probably like, nah, this nigga you going too far, bro. You know, you can do all your saber rattling anti-imperialist shit, but this probably going too far. Yeah, Rodimus. Rodimus writes, this need to reinterpret Maduro as a victim and a good guys. Wow. Yeah, are they forgetting the fact that while he was living in a splendid, beautiful fucking like damn near palace, that his people were eating fucking zoo animals to survive? Did people forget about that? The only zoo animals left in fucking Caracas, Venezuela are like the animals that nobody would think to eat, like the lions and the fucking, I think the lion is still there. A couple of elephants are still there and zebras. The rest of that shit, them people killed them motherfuckers and ate them. They cut the bars open at the fucking zoo and took the animals with them and ate them. And they was eating dogs, which is fucking disgusting. Or did they forget about this? The same Maduro that had people run over with armored cars? Yeah, they was eating zoo animals. Yes. 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 Yeah, I know. You right about that. You right about that, Top Dollar. Every country the U.S. bombed for the last 30 years did not have a Rothschild bank. And with that said, he probably didn't help his case with all of the other shit that he was doing. The importation of meth. What else? The importation of fentanyl, or at least acting as a hub for it. And let's not get this mistaken. the fentanyl, most of the fentanyl that comes here is made by the fucking Chinese in their own factories. They ship it to other countries. There's distribution hubs, and then they smuggle it here. That probably didn't help him either. I'm just saying. Yep. Right about there, Rodimus. Maduro has been hated since Obama, even Obama didn't like him. So, yes, it was a D instead of an R taking him out. They'd be like American. You know what? Yeah, they would be like Americans. Good job. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. It kills me. These fucking Democrats kill me with the fucking hypocrisy and the cognitive dissonance. When a Democratic administration bombs someplace into fucking oblivion, right? They'd be like, well, you know, we want to stop rogue states. We want to stop bad actors and all of this shit. Or that regime deserves to fall because they weren't standing up for the rights of women and gays. That's what they'll say. They are perfectly fine with a country being decimated, and bombed to hell and back just because they didn't let little girls go to school. The Democrats are perfectly fine with that. Don't forget that under Obama, that he killed a United States citizen with a drone strike. 2 United States citizens with drone strikes. 2. He violated their 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment, 6th Amendment, 8th Amendment, and 14th Amendment rights by doing so. He could have easily asked the Saudis for permission to stage a operational detachment of the Army Rangers and a quick reaction force, and he could have sent Army Delta in there and captured that man, Anwar al-Zawahiri. He could have captured him and brought him back here, took him to that same courthouse in Brooklyn that Maduro was at, and tried him. But no, he totally decided to wipe his ass the Constitution and then followed that up with another drone strike that killed his 14-year-old son. And when asked about that, Robert Gibbs, the then press secretary, said, well, you know what? His father shouldn't have been so irresponsible. So now we killing children, literal children, with drone strikes. And that's the only thing that you could say in response. Oh, his father shouldn't have been so irresponsible. Right? So that's the type of shit that people are willing to forgive under a Democrat, except for the most extreme leftist wings of the Democratic Party, right? But that's what they'll say. All of us, you know, when a Democrat is bombing some shit, you know, it's for world peace. You bombing for peace. What an oxymoron, right? But when a Republican president bombs some shit, all of a sudden the entire fucking Democratic Party turns into fucking Noam Chomsky. All of a sudden, everybody, like Agent Smith, everybody is Noam Chomsky all of a sudden when a Republican administration wants to bomb some shit. Everybody turns into Noam Chomsky and take everything back to the fucking Chicago 7 days. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. As soon as a Democratic president do some shit, take a military action, no matter how necessary it was, all of a sudden, it's the motherfucking summer of love again. It's fucking amazing.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Hell yeah, exactly. 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 Exactly, KC. Turns into a Michael Jackson Heal the World video. A motherfucker has some Americans hostage, and the Delta Force are coming there backed up by the SEALs and kill like 11 motherfuckers in the country of millions, and then evacuate these motherfuckers up out of there, and then be protesting. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck up out of here. Like I said, that's like the breathtaking hypocrisy that they have when it comes to shit like this is truly something to behold. Truly something to behold. Yep. Right about that, KC. They were clapping and cheering when they smashed Osama bin Laden. Yeah, when they were supposed to kill bin Laden, motherfuckers were dancing in the streets. Motherfuckers, I literally saw some white people with a fucking bottle of Cristal. Probably about a $500 bottle of champagne. Yeah. Straight up. The cognitive dissonance is fucking nuts. All right. I guess I can't get the video. I don't share this shit with myself well over 2 hours ago now, but it won't pop up over here. So everybody know about Tampon Timmy dropping out of the race. Everybody knows by now. I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and just read an article about it. All right. Tim Walz shocks reporters by abruptly ending press conference with no questions. The Minnesota governor announced on Monday that he would not be seeking re-election. Governor Tim Walz surprised reporters by leaving his press conference on Monday without taking questions. Earlier that day, Walz confirmed reports that he will be dropping his bid for a third term as governor of Minnesota as the state faces massive fraud allegations. Like many Minnesotans, I have to tell you, I was glad to turn the page on 2025. It was an extraordinarily difficult year for our state, and it ended on a particularly sour note, Walz opened in his remarks to the press. In his comments, Walz denounced people who sought to take advantage of our state's generosity, as well as the organized group of political actors he said were exploiting the chaos. I don't want to mince words here. Donald Trump and his allies in Washington and in St. Paul online want to make our state a colder and meaner place. They want to poison our people against each other by attacking our neighbors, Walz said. At the end of his approximately 7-minute remarks, Walz closed by saying that he will return on Tuesday with an update on Minnesota's paid family leave program, and he will take all your questions, end quote. Walz then left abruptly as his staff thanked reporters and encouraged them to return the next day. Wow, one reporter could be heard saying. Another one called out to the staff, I thought you said you were going to take questions. Why didn't you? Fox News digital office reached out to Walz's office for a comment. Director of Communications Claire Lancaster confirmed that Walz plans to answer questions on Tuesday. Walz launched his bid for a third 4-year term as Minnesota governor in September, but in recent weeks has been facing a barrage of incoming political fire from President Donald Trump and Republicans. Some Democrats over the large-scale theft in a state that has long prided itself on good governance. More than 90 people, most from Minnesota's large Somali community, have been charged since 2022, and that has been described as the nation's largest COVID-era scheme. How much money has been stolen through alleged money laundering operations invoking fraudulent meal and housing programs, daycare centers, Medicaid services is still being tabulated. But the U.S. Attorney in Minnesota said the scope of the fraud could exceed easily $1 billion and rise to as high as $9 billion. Woo, woo! God damn, that's a lot of money. Well, Tim Walz is not running because of two reasons. It's not just the scandal. It's not just the scandal, right? Because think about this. Even though they could say, hey, it's under your watch, he always will have plausible deniability because it wasn't him personally signing off on the paperwork. He would always have some type of fig leaf to have behind politically, right? No. Tim Walz is stepping down and not seeking a bid for a third term for two reasons. Number one, it's gonna be kind of hard to try to run when they deporting a lot of your voters, right? They gonna deport a lot of these people that's seeking statewide office in these states that's contested are gonna wake up to a really grim reality come this November, because as the mass deportations continue, who go be voting for you motherfuckers? Who gonna be voting for y'all? And I don't want to hear no bullshit. Oh, well, citizens, they're not citizens, they're not voting. Yes, the fuck they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thank you, Lion. It was more than just Somalians behind that fraud. The Somalians was just filling out the paperwork. The white people was approving it. I'm going to say this again. The Somalians was the one filling out the paperwork. The white people was the ones approving it. Okay? The white people was the ones approving it. Because in the white liberals' mind, and this is why Malcolm X said the white liberal is not your friend. In the white liberals' mind, that was an investment. That was a investment well worth buying substitute voters for niggas. Because the Democratic Party doesn't want to have the awkward and messy situation, well, not the awkward and messy conversation, excuse me. They don't want the awkward and messy conversation of having to answer the question of what type of tangibles that you're going to bring to so-called black people. That is a discussion that they're not ready for. That's a discussion that we brought about too, by the way. That's a discussion that we brought about. In the earliest days of the Manosphere, we was talking about how there's no tangibles for black people. Why are we voting for them? Right? No tangibles. What are we getting out of it? We're not getting nothing out of it. Why are we doing this? And that's a conversation that I don't think Democrats are ever going to be ready for. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Rodimus, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. Yeah, that's a conversation that they ain't never gonna be ready for. Because if you, Marcus, what up, dog? If you have a discussion about extending tangibles to black people, well, then now you're gonna lose the tellers. And since black people's birth rate ain't what it used to be, and the tethers still have a pretty decent birth rate, they more invested in fucking with them. You also gonna lose a lot of your racist ass white middle class voters that vote for them. Right? And another part of that of the conversation about tangibles is that it's gonna piss off a lot of liberal suburban voters. Because trust me, them white liberals that vote Democrat, they know motherfucking well that they not giving you shit. They know motherfucking well they not giving you shit but empty promises. They know that. You motherfuckers got all the advanced degrees in the world. You think they don't realize that? Yeah, they realize that, which is why they vote for them. Which is exactly why they vote for him. And his I don't no science guy, no. It depends on what your definition of a racist is, right? Maybe your definition of a racist is different, man. I don't know. But science guy writes, you think so? Most of the racists vote for Republicans. No. White liberals and tethers are by far more racist than any redneck. Any bullshit ass alt-righter with an Asian wife. White liberals, I'm gonna say this again, white liberals and tethers and other immigrant groups are way more racist and way more anti-black than any redneck ever could be. I'll give you an example. If Trump said today that they're gonna start putting trade schools back into these penitentiaries and then making it mandatory for all of these different state department of corrections to have employment assistance as part of their parole program. Now, did y'all hear what I just said? If Trump were to announce tomorrow that they wanted an immediate expansion of vocational training inside of penitentiaries, and that unless the states had employment assistance as part of their parole programs, that they would lose government funding. You know what a redneck would say to that? Yeah, get those goddamn some jobs. About fucking time. That's what they'll say. That's what a redneck would say. You might not like that he using the hard ER, but that's what they'll say. They ought to put their goddamn black asses to work. That's good. That's what they'll say. That's what they will say. You know what a white liberal would say? A white liberal would say that it's so racist that they think that this benefits black men, you know, teaching them while they're incarcerated how to come out and get maybe a job that's only about $4 or $5 a month minimum wage. I mean, shouldn't they aspire to something better than that? Is that all we have for black men is prison reform? That's what they will say. That's what they will say. Even though This will be dropping recidivism, even though it will be changing black men's lives. And with any men that's incarcerated, it will be changing their lives. It will be allowing them to successfully reintegrate themselves to the community. It will drive the employment rate down. I promise you that's what white liberals will say. And even though it's not a race-based initiative, because there's more white men that's locked up than anybody, the white liberal will automatically paint the narrative that it was directed at black men. That's what the white liberal will say. The tethers will say, well, why are you only reserving these vocational opportunities for people who are incarcerated? Why don't you have this out here in the free world so everybody can access? That's what they are saying. That's what they are saying. The other immigrant groups, like the Middle Easterners and all of them, the Hispanics, what they are saying is that while it's not a race-based initiative, that it is decidedly nativist, because it's going to benefit black men and white American men the most. That's what they will say. Right about that, Assassin's Creed fan. Where's Nick Fuentes' home state? Exactly, in the blue area. And Nick Fuentes' racist ass comes from a deep blue area. And matter of fact, it's because he comes from a deep blue area that he's doing what he's doing. Mr. White, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. It's because he comes from a blue area. Him and do y'all notice a pattern yet? Nick Fuentes and Pearlie are both from deep blue areas. They are Democratic agents. They are Democratic agents. If Pearlie was all alt-right and white nationalist and conservative and all of this shit, like she tried to play like she is, she wouldn't be sitting on top of so many black dicks. She wouldn't be sitting on top of all them black dicks. No, Pearlie is a liberal at heart, and so is Nick Fuentes. They acting as agents. They acting as agents so people can go online and say, hey, look how racist they are. You don't want to be a conservative. Look how racist they are. Thank you. Both are from Chicago. Yes. Both are from deep blue areas in the suburbs of Chicago. Yes. And racist as hell. Yep. But in Tim Walz case, though, no funding and no vote. Yeah, niggas, exactly. They both are psyops. Both of them are psyops. Both of them are psyops. Both of them are psyops aimed at helping frame the narrative for the 2026 elections. Science got rights. I'm not saying that liberals aren't racist. I'm just saying there's definitely an element within the Republicans as well. I somewhat lean more towards the Republicans from what I've seen. Now, the other part about that is that the Republican Party leaves too much to chance when it comes to the media and when it comes to how they market it and project it out there into people's consciousness, which I think does them a disservice. Why they don't do more to try to disavow shit like that, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they don't do that. They. But you gotta also differentiate or delineate the difference between, you know, real Republicans and fucking rhinocrats. And sadly, the party has been thoroughly fucking infiltrated by rhinocrats, which is why they have this whole WWE fake paid opposition left right narrative. Right? Yep. Doug Dissonant writes, they won't ever move into the South. As a matter of fact, Fuentes has said many times he looks down on people that live in rural parts of America. He don't give a fuck about conservatives. He's not a role model. No. He got the same. Think about this. They are conservative in name only. That part about looking down on people that live in rural parts of America, that's the same way that liberals think. Well, not liberals, the leftists think. They look down on people that live in rural areas too. They look down on blue collar people. That's the same way that they think. That's the same way that they think. Are you over there on Rumble? What up, Quiet Storm? Let me see how many people watching on Rumble. I bet you it's just you. Yep, it's just you, dog. It's just you. I know y'all can't see this. I wish I could screenshot it and show y'all, but yeah. But Tim Walz wasn't go be able to go run with this fraud shit going on, because let's just say Tim Walz would have ran. Well, what would have happened is that he would have got some money from the DNC, but most of it would have came from the donations inside the state. And so now their pool is drying up with every one of those fraud investigations that they start, with every one of those arrests that they execute. That's less and less money that he will have for his war chest to try to run. See, this is what the scheme was. It was basically like a three-way trade in the NBA, right? So you, foreign tether, I want you to come here and replace and largely dilute the power of regular black people, because regular black people are inefficient and unreliable for what we want them to do, and because regular black people ask for too much. We know that y'all be satisfied with these millions that we go give y'all, but these motherfuckers, they want billions and trillions in reparations, and we not finna give them that shit. And on top of that, they actually want us to do shit for them. And we all know that you can't get elected in America doing shit for black people. Did you hear me? You can't get elected in America doing shit for black people. Or did y'all not understand how this shit works over here? Oh, it's two of y'all now? Oh, yeah, now it says two of y'all. Okay. Yeah, you can't get paid. I mean, you can't get elected, because remember, most people are not in the political party in this country. Most people are independents. Most voters are independent voters. You can't get elected doing shit for niggas in America, and the Democrats know that. Democrats know that. So that's why the Republicans, rather than trying to sell tangibles to black people, they mostly do shit. They peel off what part of the black voting block that they can. So they make up policies that's gonna benefit men, and then black men seeing it in common sense, oh, it's gonna benefit men, so it's gonna benefit black men too. Like that law that they put in Kentucky, the 50% custody law, or getting rid of no fault divorce in Florida, right? They know. So this is the deal, Tether. This is the deal. Somalian tether, Caribbean tether, African tether. This is the deal. Palestinian. This is the deal. Look, y'all can start LLCs, and we'll let y'all start these fly by night daycares, these fake lunch programs. All y'all got to do is generate the names and shit. Y'all send us the paperwork, and we approve it for you. Y'all send us the paperwork, and we approve it for you. So we go put some money in y'all pocket. Y'all go make sure that all 19 of y'all kids vote for us. But some of that money that they give you, we just want a little bit of it to wet our beak in campaign donations. That's all we want. In exchange for that, we go give y'all free money. We go give y'all no interest loans. We go give y'all Section 8s without a waiting list. That's all y'all got to do. That's what the deal was. That's what the deal was. And now Trump has to do a monkey wrench in that shit. Casey writes, hey, if Africans was really our brothers, they would be, hey, bro, we about to take all of the funding they give us and we finna take over. Exactly. Hopefully the last Pan-African is to leave the room and turn the light off when I say this one. If Africans was your brothers, they would say, hey, brother man, let me holler at you. They just give me today a no interest loan, right? I am going to help you and you start your own business. Or didn't you say that you need a new car? Come on. I show you how to fill out paperwork. That's what they'd be saying to you. Ain't no tether coming to you niggas telling y'all that. None of them. Ain't none of them. Or, hey, let me tell you something. I will set up come here, brother. Let me tell you, I will set up a marriage between you and my sister, right? And so she can file LLC in her name. And then you two start business together. She doesn't really know the business side, but I know that you know. Right? If you two decide you want to stay together, that's fine. Good, beautiful. You make a family, it's beautiful. But if not, I help you start the business. That's what they'll be telling you. Ain't no tether ever came to none of y'all and told y'all that. You can't make me believe it. You're exactly right, Casey. No, what they will do is they will get a motherfucking loan. They will get a minority refugee business initiative, and they will bulldoze your motherfucking shit and build right on the footprint of it. Oh, yeah, I know. I seen that. That shit is wild. Top Dollar writes, Africans over here in Europe are tribalistic amongst themselves and don't share anything. Yep. That's the crazy part. Science guy writes, they take the money and act like you don't exist and call you a kata behind the scenes. And this is what killed me. The narrative, the brainwashing narrative that they've been fed. The $5 and a dream. See, well, all it is, I'm going to tell y'all this again. The reason that they got contempt for you, number one, is that they jealous of you. But the second reason that they got contempt for you is because they've been brainwashed with this narrative. That America is streets of gold, land of opportunity, right? They've been brainwashed with this narrative, and they think that all of the free shit and all of the set-asides that they get, they think that you get it too, but you just squander it. They think that you get it too, but you just squander it on fancy cars, jewelry, rims, shit like that. That's what they really think. They really think that shit. Not knowing that no motherfucking tether, no, for all of the years since fucking Reconstruction started, they've been actively doing whatever they can to stop our economic development. They never gave us shit. They never gave us shit. Right? But now that Tim Walz announced that he's not running for governor, well, naturally my curiosity trends towards, okay, so if you're not running for governor, you know, what is the Democratic primary for the Minnesota gubernatorial race? Is what is it going to look like? Who are you going to run? That's the story that I'm going to be watching in the next couple of weeks. Who in the hell are they going to run? Who in the state is viable enough or lucid enough? Yep. Right about that, KC. Could have built the all-black army with the money they got. Yep. Could have built damn anything, but it's more important. It's more important to wear your big dashikis and be musty in a cream color Lexus. That's the priority right there. That's the priority right there. That's the priority right there, man. Wow. I'm not surprised. Doug Disson writes, I came across a Nigerian on my way to Vietnam and South Korea. Dude was trying to get me to pay for him a meal like he was broke. After that I passed through customs, I thought he thought he was dealing with a sucker. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. Yep. If Somalis were really cool with you, they would have passed some of that scam money with the FBA. Yep. If Somalis was really cool with niggas in Minnesota, they'd have been like, hey, brother, they give us a 0 interest loan for car. We only gonna come buy from your car lot. That's what they tell you. SGR writes, yeah, but you'll notice they'll do that with anyone else except you. Yep. When's the last time a Jamaican or African try to chop it up with you but wants you to support their stores? Yep. I saw that. He should have paid it. Should have paid it. KC writes, bro, I seen an African try to sell I Show Speed his daughter for 15 cows on the live stream. He should have paid it. Shit. Should have paid it. I bet you she not gonna think cooking him one more plate of food is slavery, because that's what that's the average American woman to tell you, that it's oppressive slavery just to cook one more plate of food. Because I be asking them, so wait a minute, you think cooking, don't you cook for yourself? Yeah. Okay, well, how is cooking one more plate of food go equal oppression? How is washing a few more pairs of drawers and socks and t-shirts go equal oppression? Bet you ain't gonna have to deal with that shit. Well, should have paid it. Yep. Well, all right, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this live. It's been a Black Pill PSA. Peace.